Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're looking for a story that will twist your mind and make you question everything you know about reality, then you've landed in the right place. Today, we're diving deep into a concept so wild, so thought-provoking. It's practically imagine waking up one morning, looking in the mirror, and seeing your own reflection. But when you close your eyes, you're experiencing someone else's entire life. Sounds like a sci-fi movie, right? Well, today, we're exploring exactly that. He woke up in someone else's memories. Get ready to have your perceptions challenged, your imagination sparked, and maybe even get a little existential. If you're excited for a journey into the unknown, smash that like button, subscribe, and let's unravel this mystery together. This isn't just a story, it's an experience. Are you ready? Let's go. Our journey begins with Alex, a pretty ordinary guy, living a pretty ordinary life. He's got his routines, his favorite coffee shop, a job he doesn't hate, and weekends usually involve catching up on TV shows or hanging out with friends. Nothing particularly extraordinary. No hidden talents or secret pasts. Just Alex. Until one Tuesday morning, he woke up, as he always did, to the gentle chime of his alarm. He stretched, blinked away the last vestiges of sleep, and then it happened. A flash, not a light, not a sound, but a vivid, overwhelming surge of images and sensations that weren't his. He saw a sprawling, sun-drenched vineyard, felt the rough bark of an olive tree beneath his fingers, heard the distant bleating of sheep, and he tasted, distinctly, the salty tanks of the Mediterranean sea air. But Alex lived in a city, in a small apartment. He'd never even been to a vineyard, let alone tasted the sea air from one. He shook his head, trying to clear the strange vision, dismissing it as a weird dream. Probably ate something odd last night. He got up, started his coffee, and tried to forget it. But the visions didn't stop. Throughout his morning routine, snippets kept flashing through his mind. A woman's laugh, melodic and warm, echoing in a language he didn't understand but somehow, instinctively, recognized. A child's small hand clutching the feel of soft, curly hair against his cheek. These weren't fleeting images. They were full sensory experiences, imbued with deep emotion, joy, protectiveness, a profound sense of belonging. By the time he got to work, Alex was thoroughly rattled. He couldn't focus. During a team meeting, while his boss droned on about quarterly projections, Alex was suddenly on a fishing boat, hauling in nets, heavy with shimmering fish. The spray of the ocean cold on his face, the muscles in his arms burning. He could feel the sun on his skin, hear the gulls crying overhead. It was so real, so immediate, that he almost shouted out. He bit his tongue, trying to ground himself in his mundane office reality. He started doing some research online, trying to find anything at all, about waking up with someone else's memories. The search results were, predictably, filled with sci-fi forums, conspiracy theories, and articles about rare neurological disorders. Nothing that quite fit what he was experiencing. This wasn't amnesia. He remembered his own life perfectly well. This was an addition, a parallel existence running through his mind. He decided to confide in his best friend, Maya. She was usually the sensible one, the voice of reason. Over dinner, Alex hesitantly described the vineyards, the fishing boat, the woman's laugh, the child. Maya listened patiently, her expression shifting from amusement to concern. "Alex," she said gently, "are you sure you're okay? Maybe you're just really stressed or tired." But Alex was insistent. "Maya, it's not a feeling. It's like I'm watching a movie, but I'm an asterisk. And it's not my movie." To prove his point, he closed his eyes and described a memory that had just flashed. A bustling village square, the aroma of freshly baked bread, an old man playing a buzuki, and a warm, golden sunlight filtering through ancient stone archways. He described the pattern on a ceramic jug, the colors of the wildflowers in a nearby stall. Maya, intrigued despite herself, suggested they try something. Okay, so if these are someone else's memories, Maybe there's a pattern, a location. Can you describe anything specific that might help us find out whose memories these are? Over the next few days, Alex dedicated himself to understanding this phenomenon. He started keeping a journal, meticulously noting down every detail, every emotion, every sensory input from these memory flashes. He realized they weren't random. They seemed to be linear, progressing through a life. He started piecing together a narrative. The man whose memories he was experiencing seemed to be a fisherman, or perhaps a farmer, living somewhere in a coastal region, likely in the Mediterranean. His life was simpler, more connected to nature, filled with a deep love for his family. He learned the names, or rather, felt the names being spoken, and understood them in a way that transcended language. The woman was Elara, and the child, a little girl, was named Sophia. He felt the warmth of Elara's hand in the pride in Sophia's accomplishments, the quiet contentment of their evenings together. It wasn't just a mental movie. It was an emotional resonance, a shared consciousness. He felt the joy, the sorrow, the simple pleasures of this other life as if they were his own. One evening, a particularly vivid memory flooded him. It was a wedding, not his, but this other man's. He saw Elara in a simple white dress, her smile radiant, her eyes sparkling. He felt the joy of their union, the hope for their future. He saw the guests dancing, heard the celebratory music, tasted the festive food. It was overwhelming in its beauty and emotion. Alex found himself smiling, tears pricking his eyes, for a life that wasn't his, yet was so intimately connected to him now. But along with the beauty came a profound sense of sadness. He started to realize that these memories, while vibrant, seemed to mostly center on the past. There were very few current memories, nothing that indicated this man was still actively living in the present. This realization sparked a new, unsettling question. Was this man still alive, or was Alex experiencing the echoes of a life already lived? A profound final imprint left behind. The memories continued, detailing the growth of Sophia, the simple joys of family life, the hard work and satisfaction of living off the land and sea. Alex became intimately familiar with their small, whitewashed house, the scent of jasmine trailing over the walls, the sound of waves crashing on the shore nearby. He began to feel a deep, almost parental love for Sophia, a protective tenderness for Elara. He was living two lives simultaneously, one in his urban apartment, the other in a sun-drenched Mediterranean village. Maya, seeing the depth of his experience and the detailed consistency of his journal entries, became more convinced. She helped him search for specific locations, village names, even traditional recipes he remembered tasting. One particular memory stood out. A local festival, with a unique name he could hear in his mind, celebrated in a specific bay. After days of searching through travel blogs, historical records, and obscure local news articles, Maya found something. A small, remote village in Greece, on a particular island, known for its unique annual festival in that very bay. The description matched Alex's memories perfectly. The names, Elara and Sophia, were common enough, but the combination of details was uncanny. A new idea formed. What if this man was still alive, and for some inexplicable reason, Alex was experiencing his life? Or, more poignantly, what if this was a way for a life to be remembered, to continue, even after its physical end? The memories weren't fading. If anything, they were becoming stronger, more immersive. Alex felt compelled to learn more, to connect with this other life in a tangible way. He booked a flight to Greece. Maya, ever supportive, decided to join him. This wasn't just Alex's journey anymore. It was a quest for understanding, for connection to a story that had somehow intertwined with his own. When they arrived in the small Greek village, it was exactly as Alex had experienced in his memories. The whitewashed houses, the narrow cobblestone streets, the scent of jasmine, the sound of the sea. It was all real. He felt a powerful sense of déjà vu, or rider, deje, beku, already leave it. He felt like he was coming home, to a home he'd never physically seen before. They walked through the village square, and Alex pointed out details. He knew the old baker's shop, the specific tree where children played, the small church on the hill. Everything was precisely as his shared memories had depicted. He felt a profound mix of wonder and trepidation. Was he trespassing on someone else's life? Or was he meant to be here? He approached an old man sitting outside a cafe, playing a bouzouki. The very sound he'd heard so many times. With Maya translating, Alex hesitantly asked about a fisherman, a farmer who lived in the village, a man with a wife named Alara and a daughter named Sophia. The old man paused, his eyes clouding with a gentle sadness. He nodded slowly. "Ah, Manelis," he said. "A good man. A kind man. He passed away peacefully a few years ago, left behind his beautiful wife, Alara, and his daughter, Sophia. They moved away after, to be closer to Alara's family on the mainland. The village has not been the same without his laughter and his stories." Alex's heart ached with a deep, personal grief that wasn't entirely his own. Manalis. So that was his name. He had been experiencing the life of Manalis, a man who had passed away. The realization was both heartbreaking and incredibly profound. He hadn't been living in someone else's asterisk, present asterisk, but in their asterisk, past asterisk. He was carrying on their legacy of memories. He spent the next few days in the village, soaking in the atmosphere, visiting the places he now knew so intimately from Manalis's perspective. He walked to the vineyard, touched the olive trees, stood by the sea where Manalis had fished. He felt a sense of peace, a closure he hadn't known he needed. He realized these memories weren't a burden, but a gift of experiencing a life filled with simple joys, deep love, and a profound connection to the earth and sea. Before they left, Alex found the house, the small, whitewashed home with jasmine trailing over its walls. It was empty now, but he could almost hear Alara's melodic laugh, see little Sophia playing in the courtyard. He stood there for a long time, feeling the echoes of Manalis's love, his contentment, his entire beautiful life. He realized that Manalis's story, his memories, had chosen him for a reason. Perhaps it was a way for a cherished life to continue touching the world, even after it had ended. Alex returned to his own life, forever changed. The flashes of memory didn't stop entirely, but they became gentler, more nostalgic. He now carried Manalis's life within him, a precious tapestry woven into his own existence. He felt a deeper appreciation for simple moments, for the love of family, for the beauty of the natural world. He understood that every life, no matter how ordinary it might seem, is filled with profound beauty and stories worth remembering. And that, my friends, is where our incredible journey takes us today. What an amazing concept, right? To carry the echoes of another's life, to experience their joys and sorrows as your own. It makes you wonder about the connections between us all, doesn't it? Is it possible that our memories, our experiences, are more connected than we think? I hope this story has sparked your imagination and left you thinking about the incredible mysteries of life and consciousness. If you enjoyed this mind-bending narrative, please give this video a huge thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you won't miss out on our next adventure. We've got so many more stories to share with you. Thank you so much for watching, for being here, and for being part of this amazing community. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep dreaming. See you soon.